If you were to ask me what's my favorite Battlefield game, there's a lot of different answers I could give you, and all of them would have very valid reasons. I could say Battlefield Bad Company 2, a game I've spent multiple days of my life in, sniping people and blowing up tanks with C4. I could say Battlefield 3, where I would play Canals as the medic and just revive people constantly with a shotgun, trying to get as much XP as I can. I could even say Battlefield 4, a game that I just love the atmosphere in and just feels like such an improvement on what the series has been leading up to that moment. If you were to ask me what my favorite Battlefield game is, I would say probably Battlefield Bad Company 2. No, I'm not going to say Battlefield 1943, even though that's what we're talking about today. I love the game, but no, my favorite would probably be Battlefield Bad Company 2. But there's still so much that I love and enjoy about this game that I want to talk about today. Now, I understand this game might not be the most popular Battlefield game, and which is totally understandable. It's like when you meet someone that says they prefer Call of Duty 3 compared to one of the newer games. Like, I get that, right? There's a big difference. The newer games equal newer stuff, better stuff, typically. But there is a real charm to Battlefield 1943 that I can't easily put into words. There's just something about simplicity that I greatly respect and I love in games. I love that Battlefield 1943 doesn't give you a ton of stuff to do, all right? But that's the expectation. This game comes off like a little arcadey, right? A little bare bones, but I love that aesthetic. Before I talk about why I love this game so much and why it means something to me, I just want to say two things first. One, it is so sad that the servers of this game had to just go down in the last couple months. I understand running a server costs money, and I understand that these companies that run these games, they want to save money. But it is just so, I don't know, it just feels so dirty to me, I guess. Especially with everything that's happened with the newest Battlefield game, 2042, it really feels like they don't really care about their fans. And I know that's like no duh, right? Sky's blue. I get that. But it is so upsetting because I play this on PS3. I love my PS3. Most games I play are on PC or on PS3. And I would legit go back to this game all the time. I didn't just play it every once in a while for footage. I genuinely love this game. And it's just so upsetting that you can't play this game anymore, you know? And the second thing is that I am going to start posting weekly videos as of now. So it would mean a lot if you could subscribe and stay tuned. I'll be posting a lot of gaming content. I mean, probably majority gaming content, right? And going through different games to talk about different things. So go ahead and subscribe. That would mean a lot. Battlefield 1943 came out in July of 2009 for both Xbox 360 and PS3. Like other Battlefield games, the idea is simple. You're put on one of two teams, and you go against each other, right? It's a typical shooter. Battlefield 1943 is unique, though, in that it has a lot of historical grounding to it. It's taken place in, actual areas of an actual war that took place. So it's taking your typical first-person shooter multiplayer experience, but putting it in this unique setting that has a lot of background to it. What I love about this game distinctively is how simple it is. It's very streamlined. It is what it is. There's not a lot of bells and whistles in the other games, which I'm not saying makes it a better game. Definitely not. But for what it is, I think this is really cool. Battlefield 1943 only has 3 maps: Wake Island, Guadalcanal, and Iwo Jima. Something else that Battlefield 1943 has is only 3 classes. It could be a rifleman, infantry, or scout. Rifleman is for mid to long range. infantry, automatic weapon, short range. And then scout, which is a sniper, hence having a sniper rifle. Let's talk a little bit more about each class because, well, since you don't really have a lot to choose from, what you get tends to be more important, you know, than like a normal class setup because this is all you're working with. Keep in mind that the two sides you play as in this game are the United States Marine Corps or the Imperial Japanese Navy, so depending on what side you're on is going to change the weapons you have. For example, for submachine guns, if you're with the Marine Corps, you'll get a Thompson, but if you're with the Japanese, you'll get a Type 100. Riflemen would be more of like your middle class. It wouldn't be short range, it wouldn't be long range, it's just kind of all purpose, right? Get a semi-automatic rifle, but you also get other gear too. You don't just get your primary. Your secondary is a grenade launcher. You also have hand grenades, and for your melee, you have a bayonet. I would say that I definitely have the most time being a rifleman in this game, just because it really, I mean, it's not long range, right? But for how these maps are sized, I tend to be able to still get long range kills with it. Still works fine. I'm not really a big fan of using the grenade launcher. You know, it's not really how I play. Bayonet's pretty cool though. I do like, and I will get into this more, but how each class has their own custom melee weapon. Okay, but I will confess, I do sometimes use a grenade launcher if I'm like doing really bad and I want a free kill. You know, kind of like if you're playing like, I don't know, like a newer Call of Duty and you pull out the RPG just because you want to feel better about yourself. At least that's what I do. You know, don't mean to project, but now for infantry, you have your short range, your close quarters combat, which, yes, is important and it is useful, but you don't tend to be in short range battles in this game, not as much as another Battlefield game, because there's not tons of buildings. You know, this is, you know, a historical game, right? Battlefield 1943, based upon actual war, based upon actual locations where you're on these big islands, very open islands. There are buildings, but you're not, I don't know, personally, I don't really use it too much. But if you are going to capture a flag, which is the name of the game, right, I can't see that being useful for sure. Your secondary is an anti-tank rocket launcher, explosives are hand grenades, and your melee weapon is a wrench, which I think is pretty cool, pretty unique, right? And last but certainly not least, because it is probably one of the coolest ones in my opinion, one of the coolest class, is the Scout. Scout is long range, so hence you get a sniper rifle. Your secondary is a normal pistol. Explosives are C4 mines, and your melee weapon is a sword, or a bayonet if you're on the United States side. Now, my confession is that in basically any game I play, I probably favor like a sniper rifle build. I just think it's the most fun. I do think it is very good in this game, and I can testify because I've been killed countless times by people just laying in the grass, you know, way across the map. But it's the name of the game. You know, it's all fair game. Now, in summary, yes, there's not a whole lot of customization and things like that you can do, but this game doesn't give you that expectation, right? When you play Battlefield 2042, there's so many different things they're throwing at you, or, you know, most Battlefield games, but that's why I have so much charm for this one and so much love, because it's just so simple, it's so streamlined, it is what it is, just fun, arcadey, shooter game fun, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't even get me started on the vehicles. Okay, I am a sucker for driving in video games when, like, driving's not the main mechanic, you know? I don't play a lot of driving games. I don't play anything like F1, NASCAR, you know, Need for Speed. But if there's, like, driving mechanics in a game, I'm obsessed with them. I love the idea of having just drivable vehicles in a first-person shooter, because it's like, because it just gives you another way to get a kill or to take down an enemy. I don't know if I have any footage of it, but I've driven over multiple people in this game, and like, I don't know, just like, it's just kind of funny because it's like not what you're supposed to do, quote unquote, but it still works. For how small this game is, it has quite a lot of vehicles, surprisingly. It's got your boats, it's got your planes that you can fly, it's got different kinds of tanks and cars, you know, different kinds of land vehicles, all really cool. I love to hop in one of the cars and just ride around the map and just kind of like immerse myself in the environment. I really enjoy doing that. I mean, the game is beautiful, right? For what it is, I think it's a beautiful game. And I just love driving in these games. Now, I can never figure out how to drive a plane to save my life. Sometimes you'll get in a game and you literally can't do anything. Like, you'll try to walk like 10 feet and somebody blows you up in a plane. I don't know how to do that. I usually just crash it, but I think it's still cool it's an option. I know I already talked about it a little bit during this video, but it is very sad that you can't play this game anymore. I mean, I'm sure you can, right? There's always ways to play it, online servers, different things like that. But just the simplicity of playing it on my PS3, and it was so fun. It's a shame because, you know, most things don't last forever, especially in the online realm. I understand new things come out, old things go. I'm not too upset about it. I expect it with some of my other favorite games, you know, getting either the servers are offline or there's just no more support, but it's always sad to see. It really is. Just for closing thoughts, this game means a lot to me in many ways. Some of my first experiences playing more mature games was on the PS3. I would sneak into my brother's room and I would watch him play games like Call of Duty and things like that, you know. And it was just such an important period of my life that has honestly affected me in so many ways and has changed my perception of gaming and art. And I always go back to these games because I love them so much. This game in particular, Battlefield 1943, I would play this game a lot with my friends growing up. It's one of those games that we all had, and it was just so much fun. You know, I really do have so many good memories playing this. I do often ask myself if things I enjoy now that I played as a kid are affected by nostalgia and, you know, just that feeling that I had so long ago, but I do genuinely feel like this is such a good game. It's really cool. It's a really cool experience. Anyways, that's about all for today. I appreciate anybody who came and stuck around to watch this. I just want to kind of talk about, you know, stuff I love. That's what I want to do. I plan on posting weekly videos, different topics. I have some cool projects coming in the future, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed and, you know, kind of stuck around to see what I got coming. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching. It means a lot to me. Have a great rest of your day.